Do you know what time it is? I said, do you know what time it is? It's Big Juicy Wrestling time. Oh yeah! Yo, welcome back to the Big Juicy Wrestling channel. I'm your host, ya boy, Big Juicy, and today I'm going to be trying to predict who's going to dethrone every single AEW champion. But before I do that, please like this video and subscribe to the channel, because if you love professional wrestling, you will love the Big Juicy Wrestling channel. With that being said, though, let's get on to my predictions. The first set of titles I will be talking about in this video is the Trios Championships, currently being held by the conglomeration, the brand new Trios Champions, Orange Cassidy, Roderick Strong, and Kyle O'Reilly. I don't think they were supposed to win this belt, if I'm being honest. I think it literally, they won this belt because Gabe Kidd got injured, because there's no way that the Dogs were only supposed to have a one-day title reign. That's crazy. I think it's just going to go back to the Dogs. I mean, once Gabe Kidd returns from his injury, I think they're just going to put the titles back on the Dogs. It makes sense. I mean, the Dogs. I got to bark every time I mention the Dogs. But I think the conglomeration will be good champions. Don't get me wrong. Like, I still think that those three guys are phenomenal wrestlers. I mean, Orange Cassidy, fantastic. Roderick Strong, fantastic. And Kyle O'Reilly, fantastic. So, you know, they're going to put on great matches. Like, I want them to face, like, people like the Rascals, people like maybe a version of the Don Callis family. Put in the Death Riders in that. Like, man, I just want the Trios division to just get some bodies in there. You know, like, some, like, viable trios that can, like, actually, like, go after the Trios Championships. Because, man, that division is so dead. Because, like I think we've had, 5 or something champions this year so far? Like, it's just champion after champion after champion, and I'm just tired of it. I just want to see a actual great Trios champion. I think the conglomeration could be that as well. I would love to see the Dogs get another run at this and actually get a legit championship run and not just a one-day reign. So I think it's just going to go back to the Dogs. I'm really excited to see what the Dogs, like a full Dog championship reign would be like. But we just got to wait till Gabe Kidd gets cleared to compete again. Unless they add a member to the Dogs. They definitely could do that, but I don't think they will. And I'm happy the conglomeration won. I think they're a fantastic tag team. But yeah, my prediction here is that the Dogs will get back their Trios Championships. The Women's Tag Team Championships, currently being held by the Divine Domination, Megan Bayne and Lana Cross. I really enjoy the Divine Domination. I think they're a great powerhouse tag team. I think they've been great champions. Lana Cross has been a wonderful addition to the women's division. I think that she's going to have a great future in AEW. And maybe win some singles gold as well. That would be awesome. And then Megan Bayne obviously is fantastic. I think she's a future AEW Women's Champion once she gets out of the tag team scene. And I like the Divine Domination, honestly, better than Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford. I think Lana Cross and Megan Bayne just work well together. I think they're definitely a powerhouse tag team, which I love. And I think they're going to hold these championships until All In. Call me crazy, but I do think that they will hold those belts that long. And I do think that they're going to lose them to a babyface team that AEW has been building up for the past couple of weeks. One half of the tag team actually just had a women's championship match, and I am talking about the Brawling Birds, Jamie Hayter and Alex Windsor. I'm sorry. But I think they're great. Those two together, they're really funny. They're really charismatic. They're really fan favorites already, it seems like. I love like their vignettes that they have, their matches. They work well together. Great chemistry. And they've been putting on banger matches as well. So I think they can definitely help elevate that tag team division, because that tag team division still get like, this is only their second champion. So they're still getting their feet wet. They're still finding who the big tag teams are in the division. I think the Brawling Birds could be multiple-time tag team champions and really help elevate that division and be like the face of the tag team division. They're fantastic, putting on banger after banger after banger, and just being like just super hard hitting, oh man, they're great. That's all I'm gonna say. They're great, and I think that the Divine Domination, that match would be a very, very hard hitting match and a very wonderful match. So my prediction here is that the Brawling Birds will become the next AEW Women's Tag Team Champions. The AEW National Championship currently being held by Jack Perry, Jungle Jack Perry. He's been a great champion so far. I mean, he hasn't had a crazy long run with the belt yet. I mean, he just won it from Ricochet back at Revolution. I think so. Oh, yes, he did, because that was his hometown. So Jack Perry has been a great champion so far. He had a great match against Mark Davis on 0 Hour of Dynasty, and I think that he's going to continue to be a fighting champion. I don't know where he's going to go, though. Like, he hasn't had, like, any, like, crazy feuds for the belt yet. Like, so nothing crazy. So I kind of went with, like a random pick here because I just don't know what the division is yet. I don't know, like, who's in the division yet. So I went with Andrade. El Idolo, because he's just been absolutely killing it. He's had just banger after banger after banger, and I don't think he's going to stop having bangers because it's Andrade El Idolo. That doesn't exist to him. He just has bangers all the time, and of course, him and Jack Perry would probably put on a phenomenal match. And I think Andrade deserves a championship. He's yet to win a championship in AEW, I believe, and I think that a national championship run would be a great first title for Andrade, and I think that he could take that belt all the way into All In and have a program at All In, because I think he deserves to have a program at All In, because I think Andrade's completely reinvented himself. Like, he was this, like, he wasn't talking much on WWE. He was having banger matches, but, like, no storylines at all. He wasn't having any storylines. So to see him actually, like, go to AEW and have a character and have a mouthpiece in Don Callis, even though I think that Andrade is going to be splitting away from Don Callis soon, I think he deserves a national championship run. I don't think Jack Perry's going to hold it too much longer, just because I think they're still building up that belt's credibility still. Because I mean, the only two champions have been Ricochet and Jack Perry, and Ricochet was a pretty good first champion, but Jack Perry has been doing a great job as well. But I think that Andrade would just elevate this title to new levels because of just how damn good he is in the ring. So I just think Andrade deserves it. Andrade El Idolo should be the next national champion. The AEW Continental Championship currently being held by Jon Moxley. John's been a great champion. I'm actually really surprised how great of a champion he's been because of how infuriating his AEW championship run was last time, being in that briefcase and all. But I mean, he's like a semi-baby face, so I mean, that's probably why he's actually holding the championship. And he's been having great matches, man, like really good matches as Continental Champion. He had a great match against Takeshita at Revolution. He just had a banger match with Will Ospreay at Dynasty. So this seems like 2019, 2020 Jon Moxley again, which I love, because 2019, 2020 Jon Moxley was one of the best in-ring wrestlers in the world, in my opinion. Like, he was really good those 2 years, and I think he's getting back to that form, that just having banger matches. Like, the match against Ospreay blew my socks off because of how short it was and how much action was in the match. It was absolutely great. But who will dethrone Jon Moxley? That's the question that we all ask each other. I think he's going to hold this belt till All In. I think there's going to be a big heel turn from the Death Riders, where they do turn on Jon Moxley and they find a new leader, and that new leader would be Claudio Castagnoli. I think Claudio will beat Jon Moxley for the Continental Championship at All In. I do think that's going to be the Continental Championship match at All In. Jon Moxley, Claudio, I think it's a very cut and dry feud. I think that you don't have to do much to really get this feud heated. And man, I just want to see Claudio win a singles title in AEW. I mean, he's a two-time Ring of Honor World Champion, but that's in Ring of Honor. He is yet to win a singles title in AEW. He is one of the strongest men in professional wrestling still to this day. He deserves it. He's one of the most underrated wrestlers in the world, and even all time. Like, he is that damn good that he's one of the most underrated of all time. I think he deserves it. He deserves his big moment at All In. He deserves to win a championship at All In. I think it would be a perfect feud, too. I think the feud would be great. Jon Moxley, like, the leader of the Death Riders for how many years now? Like, 3? I think so. Like, the Death Riders have been a thing for a really, really long time. And, well, I guess they're the Blackpool Combat Club first, but, like, you know. But he's just, Claudio is just phenomenal, and Moxley has reinvented himself. Like, he's one of the legends. Like, he's a legend, honestly. Like, Moxley's a legend, and I think Claudio getting that win at All In would just be such a big moment for his career, and like to solidify himself as like a guy, like one of the main guys in AEW. Honestly, because I think Claudio could win a world championship in the future, and the feud would be great. Like, the feud would be great. I would love a Jon Moxley-Claudio feud. Please make it happen. Have Claudio be a heel leader of the Death Riders and have him win that Continental Championship. The TBS Championship, currently being held by Willow Nightingale. I think Willow is literally going to lose the title tonight against Camille. I think they're fighting tonight. If I'm wrong, then they're fighting on Saturday. But, because I forget off the top of my head if they're fighting tonight or on Saturday. But there is a TBS Championship match between Willow and Camille, and I do think that Camille is going to be victorious in that match. Willow's been a great champion, don't get me wrong. She's had some great matches, but I think Willow should be going after the World Championship next because she has yet to win the AEW Women's Championship. And I think Camille would be a great TBS champion. She is a powerhouse. She would be a dominant champion. And it gives AEW a chance to really see Camille, because we haven't really gotten to like truly see Camille yet, because she was kind of just like the bodyguard for Mercedes Moné when she first debuted. So getting to see Camille finally like have a singles run as a dominant champion, I think would be phenomenal, and have Willow Nightingale go to that main event scene because she deserves it, man. Like, Willow's been one of those like women in AEW that have carried that women's division. Her, Tony, and Statlander, man, those are like the big three of the women's division. And the fact that Willow hasn't won an AEW Women's Championship yet is baffling to me, because she deserves it. She truly deserves it. And I think it should be at All In, because I think, and I'll get to who I think will be the women's champion later on, or the next women's champion later on in the video, because there's a match with Willow Nightingale, because I do think Willow will become AEW Women's Champion at All In this year, but we'll get to that. We'll get to the AEW Women's Championship later on in the video. But yeah, the next TBS champion, I do think will be Camille, because she's going to be that dominant champion that we all want. The TNT Championship, currently being held by Kevin Knight, the brand new TNT champion, Kevin Knight, who just won it at the Casino Gauntlet at Dynasty. So he literally has not had a single title defense yet, because he just won the belt. He does have a title defense tonight, I think, against Claudio. Again, if it's not tonight, it will be Saturday, because I'm just forgetting what match is on what days right now. But I don't think Claudio will win that match. I think Kevin Knight will retain, and I do think that there'll be an eventual feud for the TNT Championship that will involve who I think will dethrone Kevin Knight for the TNT Championship, and that is Speedball Mike Bailey, the other half of Jet Speed, Speedball. I don't think Speedball will turn heel. I think that it'll just be a babyface versus babyface kind of feud, maybe like a best of 7. That would be pretty cool. But I think Speedball deserves it. Speedball's been putting on like match of the year after match of the year. Like, he's great, man. Speedball, I've never seen a terrible Speedball match. His kicks are genuinely insane. Like, it looks like he's actually kicking him in the face. Like, he's phenomenal, and he wrestles with no shoes on. Like, who the hell does that? And I think he'd be a great TNT champion, because I do think Kevin Knight should move on to bigger and better things than the TNT Championship. Nothing against the TNT Championship at all, but I just think Kevin Knight is one of those guys who I think can main event pay-per-views and main event, like, even main event All In, for God's sakes. He could definitely do that. He could definitely become an AEW world champion. I mean, he's like 24, 25 years old? He's so young, and he has so much time left in AEW. So I think that he is going to be a future main eventer for AEW. Speedball, on the other hand, as much as I love him, as much as I think Speedball would be a fantastic world champion, I just don't see it in the cards for him. I mean, he just is a mid-card guy, unfortunately. But that doesn't discredit Speedball. Like, Speedball is still one of the greatest wrestlers in the world today. Like, I truly believe that. I think he's the most underrated wrestler in the world. His matches with Kyle Fletcher are generational. He's had banger matches already with Kevin Knight. His match, if you guys don't know, his match against Will Ospreay in TNA was absolutely mind-blowing. Like, he just has fantastic matches with anyone he steps in the ring with. So I think Speedball could definitely hold down that TNT Championship division. Maybe Kyle Fletcher returns and we get part 3 of Speedball versus Kyle Fletcher, because I think they're 1-1 right now. Maybe at All In, potentially. But if Kyle Fletcher can return for All In, that is. But I think Speedball would be a fantastic TNT champion. I think Kevin Knight should move on from the TNT Championship picture once he loses that belt, and I think Speedball Mike Bailey should be your next TNT champion. The International Championship, currently being held by the Rainmaker Kazuchika Okada. And I don't think Okada's losing this belt until All In, honestly, because I think that the match that they do at All In will be when Okada loses the belt. Okada's been a great champion. I wish he would defend the belt more. He hasn't really defended it much. I mean, he had a pretty good match against Myron Reed on Collision last week, I think. And that match was really good. I just wish he would defend it more on pay-per-view. He hasn't defended it in like a really, really long time. Which is unfortunate, because Okada is genuinely one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, and I wish that AEW would showcase him like that more. But his reign's been fine. His reign's been okay. I would love Okada to go on to bigger and better things as well. Like, he's yet to have a world championship match in AEW, which I think that needs to happen soon. But the person that I do think will face him at All In and will beat Okada at All In for the International Championship, it's Konosuke Takeshita. I mean, did you guys expect anyone else, honestly? This feud's been brewing for like months and months now. Honestly, ever since like last year's All In. Like, we've been waiting for Okada versus Takeshita for so long now, and I think it's finally going to happen at All In. And I think Takeshita will become a 2-time international champion by beating Okada. That match will melt our eyeballs because of how great that match will be. I mean, I know their World's End match didn't exceed our expectations, but that's because it was just a taste of what we can get. I think that they could have a 30-minute slugfest of just beating the living crap out of each other at All In, and I think Takeshita should go over Okada to have that passing the torch moment, kind of like how Tanahashi and Okada did back in like 2012. Even though Tanahashi was still like in the prime of his career, but he kind of was passing on the torch to Okada a little bit. And Takeshita's just been absolutely killing it for the past few years. Like, he deserves to have a moment at All In. I mean, I know he's already won the International Championship. He's a G1 Climax winner. He won the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. But I think winning a belt in front of Wembley Stadium, in front of all those people at All In, the biggest show of AEW, would just be the cherry on top for Konosuke Takeshita to be that main event guy in AEW, because I think Takeshita could be a world champion in AEW if they really wanted him to. And this match, again, will melt our freaking eyeballs because of how great this match will be if they just let them cook. Because Okada, one of the greatest of all time, and Takeshita is one of the greatest in the world today, and also of all time, in my opinion. So, of course, this match is going to be 5-6 stars, 6.5 stars at the Tokyo Dome. But, you know what I mean. This match is, we've been waiting for it for a very long time now, and I think it's going to happen at All In. So at this point, just announce the match, because we all know it's going to happen, and we all know that Konosuke Takeshita will become the next international champion. The AEW Tag Team Championships currently being held by FTR, Dax Harwood, and Cash Wheeler. FTR is not losing the belts anytime soon. I think, honestly, a lot of championship reigns in this video, I think, are going to last until All In, if I'm being honest, because of just how close we are to All In. I think FTR is going to be another one of those teams where I do think that or another one of those guys who I do think that they'll hold their championships until All In, and I do think that is going to be a triple threat. My prediction is it's going to be a triple threat tag team match, a triple threat TLC match, because it is the 25-year anniversary of the iconic triple threat TLC match at WrestleMania 27, at WrestleMania 17. And that match would melt our faces at All In. Man, FTR, and here's the three teams I do think will be in it. I think it's going to be FTR, I think it's going to be Cope and Cage, and I think it's going to be the Young Bucks, because those are the three teams that have been in the tag team championship scene for the past few weeks, and I think that they're going to keep being in the tag team championship scene, and I do think that Cope and Cage will have their moment and win the AEW Tag Team Championships, because I think they deserve it. I mean, they're 50-something years old. This will probably be the last Tag Team Championship run they'll ever have, and they also haven't won Tag Team Championship gold since like the early 2000s. So, it's been a while since they've had Tag Team Championship gold, and I think it would be such a great moment to have it happen at All In at Wembley Stadium during a TLC match. Like, that would be just such a storybook ending and such a storybook start to their AEW Tag Team Championship reign. And I think that they can face so many young up and coming tag teams to really build that AEW tag team scene again. Because if I'm being honest right now, we're a little weak right now in the tag team championship or the tag team scene. Besides FTR, Cope and Cage, and the Young Bucks. Those are literally the top three teams that we got. So I don't know. So I think Cope and Cage winning would put more eyeballs on the tag team championship scene and put more eyeballs on tag teams in AEW, so then we can eventually have more teams than just FTR and the Young Bucks whenever Cope and Cage retire. So I think Cope and Cage would be a fantastic tag team champions for AEW. I know we want to see the Young Bucks get the fourth reign because they just had their redemption arc, but I don't think it's going to happen yet. I honestly think that they won't win the championships at all this year. I think it's going to be next year where they win the gold, because the Young Bucks are the Young Bucks. They can do anything they want and it will work. So they don't need championship gold to make themselves relevant. They can stay relevant by just being the freaking Young Bucks. And FTR, they've been phenomenal champions. They've literally just put on match of the night after match of the night after match of the night without fail. I've never seen a bad FTR match because of just how physical and how good and just how much they really make you feel something when you watch their matches. And that's why I love FTR so much, because man, they make you feel something watching tag team wrestling. They feel like they're just so passionate about tag team wrestling, and it's just really cool to see. And I think those three teams would just make magic, honestly, in a TLC match, because all three of those teams are absolutely insane as well. So we'll probably see some crazy spots. And I think that would be one of the best matches of All In, if I'm being honest. So, and Cope and Cage winning would just be the cherry on top, would just be such a good moment. So that's why I'm going with Cope and Cage to be the next AEW Tag Team Champions. The AEW Women's Championship, currently being held by Tekla. Tekla has been a phenomenal champion, man. I'm actually really happy with what Tekla's been doing, and I'm really happy that they put the belt on her, because it's just nice to have a new, fresh face in the AEW Women's Championship scene and have someone win the championship that's new, that's again fresh in AEW. I know Chris Statlander is her first championship run, but we all know that Statlander was like a main event star. It's nice to see Tekla win the AEW Women's Championship and have a pretty good run with it so far. I know I said in my last video I thought Tekla was going to hold the belt until All In. I'm actually going to go against what I said in the last video, because I did some thinking, and I actually thought of a great new championship match at All In. And I do think that the next AEW Women's Champion will be Chris Statlander. I think it's going to go right back to Chris Statlander once she comes back. I don't think she's injured. I think she's just on a little bit of a hiatus right now. And I do think that Statlander will win the belt back, and I do think that it's going to be Willow Nightingale, who I think will win the Owen Hart tournament, versus Chris Statlander at All In. I know Willow's already won the Owen Hart tournament, but she won it before they had the stipulation of you get a world championship match at All In. So I think Willow's going to win the Owen Hart and then face Statlander, because they have so much history and so much beef with each other, that I think it would just be a feel-good moment if Willow Nightingale would win the World Championship at All In. So technically, I'm predicting the next two AEW Women's Champions. So I do think that Statlander will beat Tekla, and then Willow Nightingale will beat Statlander at All In. I think Tekla will probably lose the belt at Double or Nothing, most likely, because I do think Stat's going to return soon, and then to face Tekla at All In, or at Double or Nothing, and then have the big payoff match between Willow and Statlander at All In. I think that would be a phenomenal AEW Women's Championship match. Of course, they have so much great chemistry with each other, and it would just be a feel-good moment for Willow Nightingale. So, the next AEW Women's Champion will be Chris Statlander. And finally, the AEW World Championship, currently being held by Maxwell Jacob Friedman, MJF. MJF has been on a generational run. I think he's having the best title reign in AEW right now, putting on just fantastic match after fantastic match. Like, he's had great matches with Hangman Adam Page at that Texas Death Match. He's had great matches on the Indies with people like Alec Price, Zilla Fatu. He was going to have a match against Nick Nemeth and Bear Bronson, but then TNA pulled out of the matches. And he just had an absolute classic match with Kenny Omega for the belt. So MJF has just been killing it, man. Like, he says what he says. He's better than you, and you know it. He means it, and I believe him when he says it, because he is just so good, and he's still under 30, or no, he just turned 30, which is crazy, because he's already done so much stuff. One of the best in-ring wrestlers in the world, in my opinion. The best talker in the world, in my opinion. I don't think there's any competition. Not even CM Punk. Not even CM Punk. I know that's going to get a lot of fans hating on me, but I think MJF is genuinely the greatest talker in the entire world. He is that damn good, and I think that he's going to hold this belt until All In, and I think that the winner of the Owen Hart tournament will be none other than Will Ospreay. I think Will Ospreay will finally get his moment at All In and finally win that world championship, because it's long overdue. It's long overdue. Will Ospreay needs a world championship run immediately. It's so long overdue, because he is the greatest in-ring wrestler in the world and one of the greatest in-ring wrestlers of all time. I mean, it's Will freaking Ospreay. You've never seen a bad Will Ospreay match because there is none. And MJF and Will Ospreay could tell such a good story, good versus evil, like, and Will Ospreay trying to get that first world championship run while he has to get through MJF, the sleazy, the slimy, conniving heel. It would be such a perfect storyline, and I think it would be such a perfect storyline for the main event of All In, because it would be such a great moment for Will Ospreay to win the world championship in his home country of England. Man, I'm already imagining it in my head. It would be such a great moment, and it'd be such a great match too. I mean, those two already had an All In match at All In 2024 for the International Championship, or at the time, the American Championship. And they also had that 60-minute classic match on Dynamite where MJF won the International Championship from Ospreay. So I think these two would just have a banger match as well. And their feud right now is 1 against 1. MJF is 1-1. Will Ospreay is 1-1. So I think at the main event of All In, I think would be a win for Will Ospreay, because I do think that he will become the next AEW World Championship, because, man, it's just so long overdue, because it's Will freaking Ospreay. Give it to me. Give me World Championship Ospreay at All In, baby. Come on, baby. Woo! Thank you guys so much for watching. Please let me know who you think will dethrone every AEW champion in the comments below. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel, because like I said in the intro, if you love professional wrestling, you will love the Big Juicy Wrestling channel. With that being said though, I'll see you guys in the next video. Ho, 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 ho. Woo!